When we talk about the security of nations, we often think of missiles, tanks, and fighter jets. But before any weapon is built, before any battle is fought, there is something deeper that determines the survival of a country. Its relationships, its alliances, its bonds of trust with those who will stand by it in the hour of need. For Pakistan, one such bond has become a defining pillar of our defense strategy: the unwavering partnership with China. This relationship is not just about contracts and transactions. It is not a friendship built on convenience. It is a bond forged in the fire of history, tested by the storms of regional tensions. China and Pakistan have, for decades, walked together as strategic partners. This brotherhood goes far beyond military cooperation. It is a psychological assurance to every Pakistani citizen that, in moments of great threat, we are not alone. Think about the world we live in today. Nations rise and fall, not just because of their armies, but because of the allies they can count on. In South Asia, where India's aggressive military modernization and expansion continue to raise alarms, Pakistan's answer is not just in building weapons, but in strengthening the relationships that make those weapons meaningful. This is where China steps in, not just as a supplier, but as a partner in our very security architecture. When Pakistani and Chinese engineers sit side by side designing advanced fighter jets, when our soldiers train together in joint exercises, when our intelligence communities share vital insights, something far more important is happening than the transfer of technology. It is the transfer of confidence. It is the creation of a silent message to anyone who dreams of destabilizing this region, and Pakistan is not isolated. Pakistan is not vulnerable. There is also a philosophical depth to this alliance. True friendship between nations is not tested when things are easy. It is tested when the winds of war blow across the horizon. Time and again, China has proven to be the friend who does not hesitate to extend a hand, whether in the form of strategic intelligence, diplomatic support, or the latest advancements in defense technology. And this matters not just for our military preparedness, but for our national psyche. You see, wars are not only fought on the battlefield. They are fought in the minds of people, in the moral of soldiers, in the unity of nations. When a nation knows that it has a dependable ally, its heart beats with greater courage. A pilot flies with a steadier hand, a soldier stands taller at the border, and the common citizen sleeps with a deeper sense of security. This is the invisible power of alliances, the kind of strength that cannot be measured by counting missiles or aircraft. And yet this partnership is not passive. It is alive, dynamic, and constantly evolving. From the days of simple military aid to today's cutting-edge collaborations. Whether it's the co-production of J-17 Thunder jets, the deployment of high-tech drones, or the sharing of real-time battlefield intelligence, China has become more than a partner. It has become a multiplier of Pakistan's defensive strength. This does not mean that Pakistan's security rests solely in another country's hands. On the contrary, this alliance empowers us to stand taller on our own feet. It allows us to focus on innovation training and self-reliance, knowing that the backbone of support exists. In many ways, this is the kind of strategic friendship every nation dreams of, one that does not dominate or dictate, but strengthens and supports. But perhaps the most important element here is the psychological deterrent that comes with this partnership. In a region where tensions can escalate in hours, the knowledge that Pakistan is equipped, prepared, and supported sends a message that no adversary can ignore. Deterrence is not just about having weapons. It is about having the will and the backing to use them if pushed into a corner. China's unwavering support magnifies that will. As I share this with you, I want every listener to reflect on what this truly means for Pakistan's future. Alliances like this are not just the work of governments and generals. They are the reflection of a nation's collective spirit, its ability to inspire trust in others. They are also a reminder to every citizen that security is a shared responsibility. A strong nation is not only defended by its borders, it is defended by the unity, resilience, and clarity of purpose of its people. So, as we move forward in an uncertain world, let us carry this understanding in our hearts. True strength is never solitary. Pakistan's strategic brotherhood with China is not just a shield, it is a statement of intent. It is a reminder that no matter how turbulent the storm, a nation that stands united with its friends, firm in its resolve, cannot be broken. And if there is one thought I want you to leave with tonight, it is this: alliances are the invisible armor of nations. And in this armor, Pakistan is ready to face whatever challenges tomorrow may bring. When we talk about war in the 21st century, we are not talking about the battles our grandparents knew. War has evolved. It is no longer just about who has more soldiers or who can fire the first shot. Today, it is about speed, precision, and technology. It is about intelligence that moves faster than a missile and decisions that can change the course of a conflict in seconds. In this new era, the arrival of advanced, high-tech Chinese weaponry in Pakistan's arsenal is not just a military upgrade. It is a transformation of how we see our defense, our security, and our future. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a battlefield without borders. Satellites watching from the skies, drones patrolling silently above, and fighter jets communicating with artificial intelligence systems that predict the enemy's next move before they make it. This is not science fiction. This is the reality of modern warfare, and Pakistan, with the support of China, is stepping into this reality with confidence. When we think of these weapons, names like JFJ-17 Thunder Block E-2 jets, Wing-Long drones, HQ-9 air defense systems, and hypersonic missile technology come to mind. To the ordinary person, these may sound like technical terms, but in essence, they represent one powerful truth: Pakistan is no longer just defending its skies with courage. It is defending them with cutting-edge technology that can outthink and outmaneuver any threat. Consider the psychological shift this creates. For decades, we have lived in a region where India's massive military build-up created an image of imbalance. Tanks, aircraft carriers, and nuclear tests were meant to project an image of dominance. But modern warfare does not reward sheer size. It rewards precision, speed, and smart technology. A single well-coordinated drone strike can neutralize what once required hundreds of troops. A missile guided by AI can change the outcome of an entire operation in seconds. This is the game changer that high-tech Chinese weaponry brings to Pakistan's defense. But there is a deeper, philosophical reflection here. Technology is not just metal and wires. It is a form of power that exists first in the mind. When our soldiers operate these advanced systems, they are not only holding weapons, they are holding symbols of empowerment. They are reminded that their nation believes in them enough to equip them with the very best. This changes morale. A confident soldier is a stronger soldier, and a confident nation is a safer nation. Beyond the battlefield, this transformation carries a strategic message. It tells the world that Pakistan is no longer a passive player in South Asia's security dynamics. We are no longer relying on outdated equipment or hoping for miracles in times of crisis. We are preparing, upgrading, and thinking ahead. Every new fighter jet, every modern drone, every precision missile is not just a weapon. It is a message of deterrence. It whispers to any potential aggressor, think twice, because Pakistan is ready. There is also something profoundly unifying about this progress. When a nation advances in defense technology, it ignites a sense of collective pride. It tells every citizen, from the soldier at the border to the student in the classroom, that we are not behind. We are not spectators in the theater of global security. We are participants. And this is important because national defense is not just about physical security. It is about psychological resilience. A confident nation is harder to intimidate, and a nation that believes in its strength can focus on growth instead of fear. Yet, with all this technology comes a responsibility. Weapons, no matter how advanced, are tools. They are only as wise as the hands that control them and the minds that command them. This is where our moral compass as a nation comes in. Our pursuit of high-tech weaponry is not for aggression or domination. It is for protection, deterrence, and the preservation of peace in a region that has seen too much tension. True strength is not about seeking conflict. It is about being so prepared that conflict never finds the courage to approach you. As we reflect on the arrival of these advanced Chinese weapons, I want you to see them as more than machines. See them as a bridge between courage and capability, between faith and preparedness. They remind us that in a world that respects only strength, Pakistan has chosen not to be left behind. We have chosen to walk into the future with our heads high, our borders secure, and our allies by our side. And if I can leave you with one thought tonight, let it be this: in the silence of preparedness lies the loudest message of power. Pakistan, armed with the intelligence of its people and the technology of its allies, is ready to protect its tomorrow. In any conflict, before the first bullet is fired or the first missile is launched, the battle begins in the mind. This is a truth that history has shown us repeatedly. Psychological advantage often shapes the outcome long before physical combat even starts. For Pakistan, The integration of high-tech Chinese weapons into our defense system is not just about acquiring tools of war. It is about reshaping the mental battlefield, especially in the context of our long and tense relationship with India. When we talk about psychological impact, we are talking about how perception alters behavior. A nation that believes it can act without consequence behaves recklessly. A nation that sees its adversary prepared and unshakable becomes cautious. Today, Pakistan's advancement in defense technology sends a message to India that is far louder than any diplomatic statement. We are ready, and we are not afraid. Think for a moment about the regional dynamics in South Asia. For decades, India has relied on its size, its economic weight, and its rapidly growing arsenal to maintain a sense of superiority. This belief often translates into political boldness, military posturing, and sometimes dangerous provocations along our borders. But the arrival of Pakistan's high-tech Chinese weaponry changes this equation. When India looks across the border now, it sees not just Pakistan. It sees a Pakistan equipped with drones that can strike with precision, jets that can dominate the skies, and missile systems that can neutralize threats before they even escalate. The psychological impact here is profound. Caution begins to replace overconfidence. Aggression meets hesitation. Every decision in New Delhi's corridors of power now carries a weight it did not carry before. The weight of knowing that Pakistan is no longer a step behind, but a step prepared. But the influence of this shift is not limited to India alone. It ripples across the entire geopolitical landscape. Global powers, regional allies, and even neutral observers are watching South Asia closely. When they see Pakistan advancing in defense readiness, supported by a strategic partner like China, the narrative begins to change. Pakistan is no longer framed only as a defensive player reacting to India. It begins to be recognized as a calculated, prepared, and assertive force capable of shaping the region's future. There is also a philosophical layer to this transformation. Nations, like individuals, carry an aura, presence that either invites respect or invites challenge. For years, India's aura in the region has been one of dominance, built on the assumption that Pakistan could be pressured, contained, or even intimidated. But aura is fragile. It lives and dies in the minds of those who believe in it. The moment that belief wavers, the aura cracks. And today, with Pakistan's modern defense capabilities on display, that aura is beginning to face its first real test. Let's also consider the psychological effect on our own people. Confidence is contagious. When citizens know that their country is secure, that their armed forces are not only courageous but technologically empowered, it strengthens national morale. This unity and confidence are in themselves a strategic asset. They send a message to any potential aggressor that Pakistan is not a house divided or a nation in fear. It is a country standing firm, aware of its strength and its responsibility. On the geopolitical stage, the balance of power is a delicate dance. Each step a country takes is carefully observed by friends and rivals alike. Pakistan's leap into high-tech defense capabilities signals that we are not willing to be passive in this dance. We are not merely reacting to India's moves. We are setting the rhythm for a new era of deterrence in South Asia. Our readiness creates stability because real peace comes not from words alone, but from the quiet understanding that any aggression will be met with strength. And there is something deeply meaningful in this psychological and geopolitical evolution. It reminds us that security is not just about the weapons you hold, it is about the perception you create. Deterrence lives in the mind of the adversary. If the adversary hesitates, if they second-guess their aggression, if they calculate and realize that the cost of misadventure is too high, then you have already won the first battle, without a single shot fired. So as we reflect on this new chapter in Pakistan's defense history, I want you to see the bigger picture. The missiles, the drones, the fighter jets. Yes, they are critical tools, but the real victory lies in the unseen, in the subtle shift of thought that happens across borders and in the hearts of our people. It is the transformation of fear into confidence, of doubt into resolve. And if there is one message I want you to take from this moment, let be this: true power is not loud. It is the silent strength that changes the way the world looks at you. Pakistan's preparedness is that silent strength, and it will continue to guard our tomorrow with dignity and resolve. When we talk about weapons, technology, and strategic alliances, it is easy to believe that defense is only about machines and soldiers. But if we look closer, the heart of any strong nation is not its weaponry, it is its people. A nation can have the most advanced jets, the most precise missiles, and the most impenetrable defenses. But if its people are divided, discouraged, or disengaged, that strength is incomplete. Preparing for the next era of defense is not just a military effort, it is a national effort, and every citizen has a role to play. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine a soldier standing at a border post on a cold winter night. He is not thinking only about the rifle in his hand or the technology backing him up. He is thinking about why he is there. He is thinking about his family, his land, his faith, and the millions of people sleeping peacefully behind him. His strength comes not just from training, but from the invisible support of a nation that believes in him, a nation that stands united behind him. That is what truly prepares a country for any challenge. This is why I believe the next era of Pakistan's defense must begin in the heart of its people. Our unity is our shield, and our awareness is our first line of defense. When we understand the value of what we are protecting, our freedom, our dignity, our future, we stop taking it for granted. We stop letting small differences divide us. We stop doubting our own ability to rise in times of trial. Defense in the modern age is also about mental and emotional readiness. The world today is as much a battlefield of narratives as it is a battlefield of weapons. Social media, news cycles, and global politics all influence how a nation sees itself and how others see it. In this environment, every citizen who chooses hope over fear, unity over division, and resilience over despair is contributing to the defense of the nation. It may not feel like holding a rifle, but it is a form of strength all the same. And then comes the responsibility of knowledge and innovation. Technology does not stand still. Every year brings new advancements in drones, cyber warfare, and artificial intelligence. If we want to be ready for tomorrow, we must invest not just in importing technology, but in creating our own. This means supporting our scientists, engineers, and innovators. It means encouraging our youth to study, to experiment, and to believe that the defense of their nation is not only on the battlefield, but also in the laboratory, the workshop, and the classroom. There is also a moral dimension to this preparation. A strong nation is not one that seeks conflict, but one that carries the strength to prevent it. Our faith and our values remind us that power comes with responsibility. The weapons we hold are for the protection of our sovereignty, for ensuring that no one dares to disrupt our peace. If we lose sight of this moral compass, then technology alone cannot save us. But if we hold to it firmly, then our strength becomes a shield not only for ourselves, but for the stability of our region. So how do we, as ordinary citizens, prepare for this next era of defense? By choosing to engage rather than withdraw. By choosing to learn rather than remain uniform. By standing together, knowing that a united nation is the greatest deterrent to any threat. By celebrating our armed forces and supporting them not only with words, but with the unwavering energy of a nation that refuses to be broken. In the end, the future of Pakistan's defense will not be written only in military strategy documents or international alliances. It will be written in the hearts and minds of its people. A country ready for the challenges of tomorrow is a country that believes in itself today. And belief is a powerful weapon, one that no enemy can disarm. As we close this reflection, I want to leave you with this thought. Our greatest defense does not lie in the steel of our weapons, but in the steel of our resolve. When a nation stands united in purpose, guided by faith and fueled by knowledge, there is no storm it cannot endure. Let us be that nation. Let us be that strength. Let us be that Pakistan